Here is the fourth ice cream video. One easy way to get some basic statistics is to use the describe method like this. Notice we can see how many rows are in the data frame, the average value of each column, as well as the minimum and the maximum, as well as the 25th and 75th percentiles. This is a nice way to get a basic understanding of the data. Another easy operation is the .info method, which lists the number of columns and the number of rows, and the data types for each column. Here is the code for a pretty joint plot using the Seaborn library, which has an alias of SNS. A joint plot means that there is a bar chart along the top and to the right of each of the variables, as well as a pair plot of temperature to revenue. People with a bit of understanding of statistics will note that these are nearly perfectly correlated because of the direction of the line. Note that the data is coming from the ice cream data frame. The x-axis is temperature, and the y-axis is revenue, and the color of the dots in this case is fuchsia. Here is a pair plot chart that plots each variable in a data frame against every other variable. Notice that the times where a variable is plotted against itself looks very different than the rest and is usually ignored. Plotting and visualizing data is very important to communicating the story of the data. The last item will be to show a basic regression analysis using the Statsmodel library. The independent variable of temperature from the data frame is set equal to x. The dependent variable of revenue is set equal to y, and a constant is added to provide for the y-intercept. Incidentally, it is not germane for this video, but the constant is often defined as the mean of the dependent variable when you set all of the independent variables in the model to 0. Here is the code that utilizes the Statsmodel library regression function. OLS stands for ordinary least squares, which is the basic type of regression. Note that the output looks strange from a typical statistical viewpoint because we only had 12 months and 12 temperatures and 12 revenues, so we get a perfect correlation between temperature and revenue. To review, we used a small sample size in order to illustrate the basics here of analyzing data. I hope this was fun and that you love ice cream as much as I do.